Do you regret ever getting involved in...
I didn't have a choice. It got bad when I was about 15 years old because when I did MTV Cribs, the day that I had to go show off that house, my mom and my dad told me, we're getting a divorce, but you still have to go do this. I had to go show off all the stuff my whole life that was going to be taken away from me.
So many horrific accusations, though, involving young singers, young, like, children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
All of those kids from that era, even the British bands, they all partied with Diddy. It's hard for me to truly get invested in what's happening to Liam Payne right now because I haven't gotten over what happened to Nick. Nick's brother, Aaron Carter.
Right.
A lot of people keep forgetting Aaron Carter was begging for help, begging for independent financing, begging for security. He made it very clear Sony was out to get him, just like Michael Jackson told him they would be. And right around that time, his brother had just been accused of raping one of the girls from making the band, Diddy's entity. And they were trying to make all of that go away. And Aaron called his brother out. And then the next thing you know, he said, if anything happens to me, I did not do this to myself. And then he was gone, and they said he took his own life, just like they're saying about Liam Payne. Why doesn't anyone want to see the same thing happening over and over and over again?
I don't know how many people came out of the fame as a young person and were fine, but the people that stay and keep doing it, they're not fine. Most of them. I mean, maybe there's a few. I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible to do, but I'm saying the challenge of becoming a normal person with like a normal view of the world when, you know, you're getting doted on when you're 6 and you're the moneymaker in the house when you're a little kid, like your parents stop working to manage you, like that kind of.
Like those Carter kids. I mean, that's so brutal. That Aaron Carter kid was lost. He was doing gay porn at the end. Not gay porn, but like gay, like cam stuff.
This is Aaron Carter. I want to verify that this is actually my GoFundMe page. There's been a lot of misdirection that I've had to do in order to protect myself from being the silence breaker for my brother, who is a rapist. And now they're after my life. My whole family is after my life. And they're setting me up. And Sony Records owes me $3.5 million, and they don't want to pay me, and it would be in their better interest, just like Michael told me. And Brad Paisley, who sued Sony Records for $10 million, they owe me money, and they're trying to kill me off. And I'm begging you, and I'm pleading you, help me raise $100,000 as soon as I can, so I can move to an undisclosed location where I am safe. My realtor won't sell my house. They're all involved in this, and they're trying to keep me there. They had cops come and check for a rope in my garage, saying I wanted to hang myself. So please trust what I'm saying, and please donate.
I go on my Twitter, and I see people saying, you look like you have AIDS, you should go die. I don't understand how I dedicated 22 years of my life to my fans, and now they turn on me.
Aaron Carter warned us, and nobody listened. That's what Joe Rogan said, his voice dead serious after digging into the disturbing details of Aaron Carter's connection to Diddy. And the more he looked into it, the darker it got. Aaron Carter wasn't just a troubled pop star. He was a warning sign, a signal, a young boy pulled into a world he never truly escaped. And now, with all the lawsuits, leaked footage, and court hearings surrounding Diddy, the truth is finally coming out. Diddy wasn't just a businessman, he wasn't just a music mogul. According to what's surfacing now, he was something much more dangerous. It started with a clip. Joe Rogan was sent a mashup of old footage. Aaron Carter doing interviews, talking nervously, dropping cryptic lines. Nothing direct, nothing obvious. But once it was put together, the pattern was clear. Aaron had been trying to speak out for years, but nobody connected the dots. In one clip, Aaron's hands were shaking as he said, "There were people in the industry who shouldn't be near kids. He looked down, nervous, said nothing more. Then came another clip. Aaron flat out said, I've seen what they do at these parties. I've been there. I didn't want to be there. When Joe Rogan saw that, what the hell was this kid pulled into? He asked on air, and that question unraveled everything. Aaron Carter rose to fame in the early 2000s. He was just 10 years old, touring, performing, being thrown into rooms with grown adults in the music business. And guess who was often in those rooms? Diddy. Photos began circulating, a young Aaron next to Diddy at a red carpet. Another photo of them at a music award after party, nothing illegal on the surface, just industry events. But now that we know what really happened at some of those so-called industry parties, everything looks different. Rogan zeroed in on a photo of Aaron looking terrified next to Diddy in 2002. That's not a kid meeting a music mogul, Joe said. That's a kid who doesn't want to be there. Then the real bomb dropped. Someone leaked footage, old VHS-style tape of one of Diddy's notorious freak-off parties. And in the corner of the screen, there he was, Aaron Carter, maybe 14th, standing awkwardly near a table of champagne bottles and men in suits. He wasn't participating, but he was there, and that's the problem. The video was time-stamped. It matched the location of one of Diddy's private homes. How is this not a crime scene? How has no one been arrested for this? Aaron had tried to raise red flags. In 2019, he went live on Instagram and dropped a bomb. He said he had secrets about people in power. He said, if anything happens to me, it wasn't an accident. People thought he was being paranoid. Now they're not so sure. A few months later, Aaron was found unconscious, overdosed, they said, but friends claimed he had been doing well, had been clean, was preparing to release a tell-all book. Joe Rogan looked at the timeline. He was about to expose something big, and then poof, gone. I've seen this story before. For years, Diddy's name was never officially linked to Aaron Carter's trauma, but then a sealed document was released as part of the broader federal investigation into Diddy's private dealings. And right there, buried deep in the witness list, was a reference to a young male pop star from the 2000s, listed under protected witness communication. It didn't say Aaron Carter, but a journalist cross-checked it with travel logs, party dates, and private jet records. It all lined up with Aaron, and suddenly people realized this wasn't random. Aaron Carter was part of something much bigger, and Diddy's name was right in the middle. Joe Rogan didn't hold back. He went off on record labels, media outlets, and artists who saw what was happening and said nothing. You're telling me nobody saw a kid like Aaron being passed around these parties and didn't say anything, Joe asked. They all knew and they let it happen. He even called out some of Diddy's closest allies, Jay-Z, Usher, French Montana, DJ Khaled. These guys weren't just neighbors, they were at the same parties, they knew who was invited, they saw who was uncomfortable. And Joe made one thing crystal clear: if you were at those parties and you stayed silent, you're part of the problem. People who worked around Diddy are now coming forward. One former security guard said Aaron was always quiet after the parties. He never spoke, just sat in the limo, looking like he'd seen a ghost. A former event planner said she once saw Aaron locked in a room with Diddy and 2 other men for over an hour. When she asked about it, she was told, "Mind your business. That's family stuff." Years later, she tried to speak out, and she claimed someone from Diddy's legal team offered her money to stay quiet. She refused. Then her phone was hacked. Her email too. This isn't paranoia, Joe said. This is power being used to silence people. Now that everything's coming out, fans are angry, hurt, guilty. They're digging up old clips of Aaron, watching interviews where he clearly wanted to say more, reposting his quotes, sharing the live streams where he hinted at powerful men in Hollywood. One tweet said, "We failed Aaron Carter. We laughed when he cried out." Another said, "He was trying to tell us about Diddy, and we didn't listen." Joe Rogan read these posts on his podcast. After weeks of silence, Diddy's team released a short statement. They said the claims were baseless and that Diddy never had inappropriate contact with Aaron Carter. But they didn't deny the party footage. They didn't explain the sealed witness files. They didn't comment on Aaron's live streams. Joe Rogan reacted to the statement in real time. This is bullshit. That's not a denial. That's a lawyer running scared. He replayed the party footage, froze it, zoomed in. That's Aaron, that's a minor, that's Diddy's house, that's the truth. Federal prosecutors are now reviewing new testimonies. They've requested more footage, more witness statements, and reportedly they're looking to reopen certain cold cases, including ones involving underage celebrities. Aaron Carter's name is being pushed forward as a posthumous victim. If the court rules that Aaron was harmed under Diddy's watch, it could lead to a massive civil case or even criminal charges. Joe Rogan ended his reaction with one line: Aaron Carter didn't die from drugs. He died from the trauma this industry gave him. Diddy spent decades covering his tracks, throwing lavish parties, controlling the narrative, but he couldn't control Aaron Carter's voice. Even in death, that voice is echoing louder than ever. And now, the world is finally listening. Joe Rogan said it best. The mask is off, the footage is out, and Diddy, he's finished.